Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, one half of Apollo 55, Kyle Charles, and
one half of the plants at ringside, CY Chung.
today it might be a bit late, but we are reviewing SummerSlam
SummerSlam?
2020, not
Yeah.
SummerSlam, because they both give the S. Sorry,
Yeah.
Survivor Series 2020 War
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
debut of the War Game match.
Yeah. Which is
NXT.
funny because every time for the two matches of War Games, you had the lady. Once the last people got in the ring, the lady was, ladies and gentlemen, War Games begins or something like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Mhm.
Before we get into like any in-depth stuff,
Yeah.
right? What did you think of the card of the whole event in general?
Before, like the lineup before I watched it, or are you talking about afterwards, like an overall afterwards thing?
Overall, like going into it, and then what you thought about it
Okay,
afterwards.
so I was like, oh, the lineup of the women's um war games looked good, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, like the whole thing was pretty good. It looked pretty decent, right?
Mm.
You had ups and downs matches, right? The last match, the men's war games, was looking like it was going to be more story based, which it was. However, it doesn't mean it wasn't good. I'll say that much, right?
Yeah.
AJ and Finn, I thought they were going to have that. I was like, okay, they're gonna have a really good match, right? Because last time, like in 2017, they had the like Demon Finn versus AJ Styles.
Mm.
Oh, it was all right as well. Yeah. I didn't expect too much from Ronda and Shotzi Blackheart,
Yeah.
but it wasn't as it was. I kind of like what they did, but kind of I want. Yeah, we'll get to that in after. But overall, I'd say there was ups and downs during this entire thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Me, I quite enjoyed it. The whole thing. The only I'll say downer on the card was the Shotzi match. Everything else I really enjoyed. I enjoyed
Yeah.
Finn and AJ.
Mhm.
I think it was better than their 20. Actually, no, probably to me on par with their 2017 one at TLC. It was back. Was it TLC? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, when we get to it, but there were differences that made me think. Maybe I have to not rewatch it, but when you're like, okay, I've got expectations, but then like there's other stuff that go into this match.
Yeah.
Like other people.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did enjoy some of those bits, but let's go through the actual lineup.
Yeah.
In match by match, yeah.
Yeah.
So, lady,
Oh,
gone.
sorry. No, I was going to say what the match was, but yeah, you said it. So yeah.
Ladies War Games with the face team: Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Mia Yim.
Yep.
Mia Yim.
Yep.
Versus Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Damage Control that is.
Yep.
Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, okay. I have to say, the beginning of it, like when not all the ladies were in the. Once it got in the ring, everything picked up. But I think it was like a bit quieter.
Yeah.
When because okay, not to I like Dakota Kai is good, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think people bought her as a threat to Bianca Belair.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
It didn't set the tone. Like, I mean, yeah,
which is kind of a problem that's nothing to do with her, but
yeah. I mean, like, for example, if Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair started, right, then you'd be like, all right, they're just gonna have a they're gonna have a brute fight.
Yeah,
like the female equivalent of a brute fight or something like that,
Yeah.
Because both them ladies got shoulders, man. That's a
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, once everyone got in the ring, yeah, it was like
that's when mayhem began. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I did like the finish where Becky Lynch put someone in the bin, trash can, right? And did so Io and Dakota were both on the table, right?
Yeah.
She top rope jump off the table, off the cage and landed on both of them, right?
Yeah.
And crushed the trash can as well. And I was like, good that she actually basically sat on them, right? Bad for her spine, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because like when you see stuff like that, you're like, I don't want you to see. I don't want to see someone do a leg drop there. I've done the springboard leg drop, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, your spinal,
Tailbone and all that.
yeah, exactly. It's like, oof, right? I jumped from that height and basically I know she kind of sat on them, which is good, right? I'd rather her be safe than miss like Jungle Boy did, and
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was like, oof, standing up after that, jeez. But it was a nice finish. It was a cool finish.
Yeah, it's cool finish.
Yeah, I think was it Bailey got KO'd into the
cage
ring, the cage.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really. It wasn't. It was like she basically flipped her into the cage rather than a KOD because you can't really land a KOD like that.
Yeah.
But good for Bailey. She kind of caught the cage.
Yeah.
So she twisted herself so she didn't basically fall down between the ropes and the cage and crush her head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, good on them for I don't say safe, but safe as can be.
Yeah.
Watching out. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, it was an alright match. It was a good match.
Yeah. I thought the second half was better. Well, I say the second half, but it picked up way more when all of them were in the ring.
Yeah.
There's when all the weapons came in and stuff like that. Because ladies was coming in, they was doing stuff, but they was putting weapons and stuff like that. But they weren't really gonna get. Nothing was gonna happen until 20 minutes in.
Because
the 5 minutes for the first match
can't actually happen until everyone's actually the war games itself begins when everyone's in the ring. So yeah.
I don't know. Would you say it would be better if you could eliminate during?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, actually, I don't know, because then it's not really.
No, but I mean, like even if you don't eliminate someone, then pinfalls, you can do the pinfalls thing for the drama.
No, but then it's kind of pointless as well. It's like, okay, pinfall. So if you realistically, like, if you put it this way, if it's the first two in there, I would just bring out not a gun, but the wrestling equivalent of a gun, hit the person with it and pin him, then the whole match is over.
No, I'm saying elimination pinfalls is one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that's eliminate for me. Like, that's elimination chambers gimmicks. I'm not really. I wouldn't like that
Fair
to
enough.
be
Fair
sort of match.
Yeah.
But I did think about it, like, that could. But
yeah. So look, it was pretty decent. I actually did not think it went as long as it did. But when you tally up, you're like, you know what? You have to wait for 20 minutes to get one in to get for everyone to get in the ring. So it kind of is.
Yeah. The only problem I still think that Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley should have won.
Well, look, the star power on the heel side was not as great as the star power on the face side. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But like, it kind of makes what happens now, sort of, if you know what I mean, because the good guys won. What you go from here?
Exactly. It's like they close the chapter.
Yeah.
On the end there. And here's the thing: the champion can take a loss here.
Yeah.
And set up a feud for later on, like
know.
But we'll see what they can do because I would have to say mostly the face team is, as far as stats concerned, if you're going to do that, right? More like better than the heel team to a certain degree, because I would say only on the heel, like what have they doing with Nikki Cross and Dakota, the Io Sky and Dakota Kai are like Bailey's minions, not in a bad way, just
I get what you mean.
Credibility wise, as far as they've told their story,
Yeah.
They could have made the heel side more dominant, and then because they're not even on the same group or on the same side, because three of them are in one faction and the other two are kind of like Rhea Ripley's with Judgment Day and Nikki Cross is doing anything. So if they had the thing at the end where they all kind of like where one half of the team is like flipping on the other side of the team, then the heels could lose and you'd be like, all right, well they kind of done it to themselves and protect them somewhat. But hey,
no, then I think they wouldn't really. No, if they start like turn on each other, not really protecting them, it just kind of makes them look all like idiots.
Yeah, but that's what but that's what heels. But if they're true to their characters, you can't say that that you can't dispute that.
Yeah, but it's kind of then it goes to the whole like all heels are stupid, and I can't. That's kind of like
Well, this is the same organization that made Cody Rhodes team with Bob Holly, only for his Ted DiBiase's mystery tag team partner turned out to be Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes then pins Bob Holly, loses the match, and wins the tag team titles by winning the match.
Yeah, but that was like 15 years ago at this point, so that's yeah, it's. But yeah, right. They should, But as soon as Becky came back, I knew they were gonna win.
Yeah.
So
it was kind of like I don't want to say necessarily predictable, right? But they weren't. It was one of those things where you're like, well, they got Bianca Belair, who's got a good run.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch has just come back.
Yeah, so you're gonna sort of...
Asuka and Bayley, who kind of like are pretty. The only person that could have taken the pinfall on the face side was probably Mia Yim.
I don't think they would with her because she just came back. It would have to be probably Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, only because of her possession storyline, right?
Yeah. So it's a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. There was some dangerous stuff here where Io's doing a moonsault off the top of the cage, and I was like, "Oh my, please,"
She's done it before, so I was alright with it.
No, it wasn't that. It's just like you want to see them catch them properly,
Yeah, but at least she didn't do it this time with a trash can over her head. So
yeah. The Tower of Doom spot, right? I liked it because it was a troll. It was troll. This guy at the top there, and I was like, first of all, ladies, please do not, right? Because that's gonna damage. That's gonna hurt, So good on them. That and I like that it was like, oh yeah, we set up and then we like didn't follow through because we're the heels. Ooh.
Yeah, because it's been done so many times. It's like, that's just troll. I'm alright with that. Yay.
All right, AJV spin.
Leader of the Bullet Club leader. The battle of the Bullet Club leaders. Yeah.
Yes, what's funny because they do mention Bullet Club on commentary.
Yep.
Strangely enough.
In great detail as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. It was quite good. It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It was different because like I'm just expecting the boys to have at least a straight enough match, but this is like, you got interference here. I should have known. I should have prepared myself better, to be honest, right? I may rewatch it, take into account. Okay, well, this is designed to have interference because of the storyline. It's not like the match between them two is better or anything like that. It's just like, it's a storyline match to move things forward.
Yeah, and they did lots of references in the match as well. To themselves, like Finn tried to go for the Stars Clash, and AJ was like no, and then Finn hit the Hiroshi Garoshi. That was it was good. I did enjoy it.
Our boy Dominic, who what's funny? I think the Dominic Rhea Ripley, not chemistry, but them two together.
Yeah,
is quite fun, right? Because he's just like he looks like he hasn't got a build of an athlete or anything like that, right? And he just and Ripley just shout at him and stuff like that, right? And it's just like it's silly to watch but enjoyable because Dom getting dominated by Rhea Ripley.
But like I like with the Dom Rhea Ripley thing, they've never actually mentioned that they're in a relationship. That's what I like.
I don't think it is. I think it's more like he's her underling and to do her bidding sort of thing.
Yeah, which is cool.
I think it's helping him get over, right?
Yeah,
but he needs to he needs to help himself as well to a degree. He's kind of better as heel because it gives him some sort of reaction rather than favoritism.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think what else happened in this match. I did like the brief interference slightly with the Good Brothers and Dom and Priest, because then it kind of made the because they had that little brawl whatever, and then it took each other out, and it kind of made it equal because then that there wasn't going to be like some weird shenanigans to the ending.
Good. Do you reckon they're going to have another match? This logically, by the way, should have been a Survivor Series match because you got to have the entire the good AJ Styles, Good Brothers, and Mitchkin, Mia Yim. Yeah, I mean, I personally would have made it not mixed tag necessarily, but I would have had the ladies involved as well. Because And you had Finn, Damian Priest, Dominic, and Rhea Ripley, and you'd probably have Rhea Ripley, body slamming some of the boys as well, just because, you know.
So I think they could still do it, but I think the reason why they probably didn't do it on Survivor Series is because you already got the Elimination Chamber coming, so it's kind of
you got much more of a spectacle matches as far as lineup is concerned.
Yeah. And you don't really sort of overdo it, so like they probably might just do it like on an episode of Raw or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was like, I don't know necessarily I would have enjoyed that lineup more, but it would have made a bit more sense for Survivor Series. I can definitively say that.
Yeah.
All right, so women's WWE women's SmackDown women's championship match. Ronda Rousey, the champion, versus Shotzi, and during the promo segments, Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey are just being mean girls, and I'm like, what? What am I watching? What am I watching here? You know, we're such bullies, so we're gonna put like kind of I kind of like with Shayna Baszler, because she's kind of like she could do stuff first of all, but she comes across as kind of like petty and mean as well, right?
Yeah.
Even though that's not really her character, right? But it's like, okay, you can put it off because it's like a tangent of your character. Ronda Rousey just been like moody all the time, and now she's like poking and laughing at some girl. And like, yeah, but I don't know about that.
It was weird.
Well, at least it gave her stuff to do, though.
It was stuff to do.
But it just didn't seem in character for her whatsoever. I mean, Shayna Baszler like laugh at people when you know and stuff like that, just because she's you know mean, not necessarily mean girl, but mean enough, right?
But it's just, I don't know, this whole Ronda thing. It's up and down with me for her. It's like sometimes she's.
I think she's better. I think she's better as heel because she can lean into the dislikes, and it's actually easy being heel than face, right? But I don't think she delivers.
Yes.
Yeah. She doesn't mug enough for the camera. She doesn't be like she walks around, right? Like she's mean, like pretending to be mean rather than actually being mean.
Yeah. Like another thing I sort of noticed with Ronda, like when it's like backstage vignettes or whatever, she's not bad. Like acting wise or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to like live on the mic, promo in the ring, it comes off weird. It's just, I don't
know. I think even though Shotzi never had a chance, right? Never come across that she ever had a chance. This match could have. You know what? It actually was longer than I thought it was when I watched it.
Yeah.
Like it's about 7 minutes match, right? And I thought it went kind of speedy for that match, you know?
Yeah.
I thought it went about. I thought it was only about 4 minutes or something.
Yeah, but, 7 minutes and 13 seconds, something like that.
Yeah. So they went at quite a decent pace, even though I wouldn't say it was. How much can one person do, right? But the dive, like, so Shotzi dived onto, like, cross-bodied Ronda and Shayna and there was the fans, quote unquote, at ringside. Right? And I was like, fair enough. Like, they gave us something to remember during the whole match, even though there was nothing lead up to it. Anything before that, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I know that after that, Shotzi got an armbar, and that was that, right? Okay. Yeah.
And like, there was one bit that just looked weird. You know when Shotzi, she has that sort of like tornado DDT on the apron.
Yeah.
And you could tell Ronda didn't want to take it, so she kind of just let Shotzi drop, and then she fell afterwards. Like,
well, I was gonna say, who do you think? Who does the burden of the blame lie with that? I didn't want to say blame, right? But who's the one that you think made it look bad?
I don't know.
Because obviously they put the match together with it there, but maybe Shotzi didn't get a rotation, and Ronda was like, "Nah, it ain't gonna look good," and decided. It's one of these things where you're like, which way does it go?
Yeah, because it could have been it could be a timing thing. I don't know. I don't in their brain, but it just looked wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's two things to remember. No, there's three rings to remember from this match, yeah?
Yeah.
The crossbody on all these people, the bad looking DDT, and shots who got arm bars.
Yeah. Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Now that's a comparison, right? With Jade Cargill, yeah?
Yeah.
Whose matches would you watch, Ronda's or Jade's?
Jade's.
Okay.
It's
because Jade's got like can walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yeah.
And her matches can go by blitzes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Same with here actually. Not like, but it's just like Ronda at her level. Like both of them at the level they're at should be more capable.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely Ronda. Even because she's done sports, she's done combat sports before. So
yeah. And she's been doing this technically really from like 2000. When did she? WrestleMania 39. So I want to say 2018 to now, basically. Well, except for like that year she took off or whatever. But you know what I mean? She's
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and with Ronda, there is a way to make her style work. Like Shayna Baszler made it work.
Yeah.
We'll see. Do you reckon they're building it to a Shayna Ronda match?
Yeah, I think at some point, yeah, they will.
WrestleMania?
I don't know about WrestleMania because I reckon, if anything, Ronda will lose the belt before her and the Shayna.
Okay.
Before her and the Shayna thing, yeah.
Okay, fair. I wonder how that would work as well, that match, because they don't have to work the style that you would expect a wrestling match to go. Just because they both done mixed martial arts, so they can work around certain other things. Like when it's Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit, and they were just doing the ground grappling for ages.
Yeah. Ground and pound.
All right.
Ground and pound. Yeah.
Yeah. So United States Championship: Seth Rollins, the champion, versus Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley.
This match.
Yeah. Seth Rollins being troll as ever.
Yeah. This match.
The whole way he comes in with his pimp jacket as well. I mean, his pink leather, furry, whatever he's wearing. High artistry style jacket.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that was amazing. Oh, what can I say about this match? I thoroughly enjoyed this match.
Yeah. There was a double hurt lock applied to him. I was like,
that was
what?
awesome.
What is this? Oh, you know what? No, hold on. Let me just say something before this, right? They played the trailer. They played the trailer of Bobby Lashley versus Brock, right? Bobby Lashley coming out, whatever, right? Yeah. Then you got then it transitions to Brock, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, am I getting led to watch? When did Brock start having a match at Survivor Series here? So I was like, huh? So I was like, wait a minute. And then when there was like a triple threat match, like, then why did they play that at the beginning?
Because to lead up, to explain how Lashley lost the title to Seth.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it just made me think. Oh, they it's gonna be Lashley. Do you think they're gonna do Lashley Lesnar again?
Yeah, they have to, isn't it? Because it's equal at this point, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't. But
I don't know when they'll do it, but they'll probably end up doing it.
Yeah, would you prefer more even bout? Because like of all the people there, Lashley with like actual MMA experience, you'd expect them to be a bit less suplex city because he's basically not necessarily the equivalent. He's not booked to be the equivalent of Brock Lesnar, but from all his credibility, you can say he's relative to Brock Lesnar's abilities.
Yeah.
If they play that up,
I don't know. I think they will want to stay away from the mixed martial arts sort of thing, innit?
Well, they did put the stats up,
Yeah.
And Bobby Lashley was 2-time MMA champion, right?
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? But like, I was looking at it and I was like, oh, they're just smaller organizations, but fair enough. Because if it was Strikeforce or something like that, they would have said that, or Pride.
Yeah, if it was or Bellator or something, they would have said it. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed this. I was like, when separately the Phoenix special, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. And he rolled out of
some good like pin. When someone breaks up a pin and that, like some pins were broken up. Yeah, and you're like, oh, it's a nice way to do that stuff and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that. The humans, like when he jumped, what would you call that stomp that the version like?
Oh, when he jumped
Jumped off Fury, yeah.
When he stepped over Fury to stomp Lashley, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what would I call that?
Yeah. And then I like the finish as well because it was like Seth going. He went for. Was it that's the one where he did the top rope?
Yeah, he went this top rope superplex, and then he went to because normally he follows out with the Falcon Arrow, and then Lashley was like, "Nah, dog," and like
spear, and then Fury basically fell from that suplex position onto Seth.
Yeah.
But are we saying that Lashley's spear is so powerful he rebounds off to the side?
Yeah. Mate. Well, you could say he was still reeling from the stomp.
Yeah.
That's why he's like hit that.
The finish was quite inventive for me. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't exactly 100% of Fury's chance of winning, right?
Yeah.
But they kind of set it up with the failed cashing Money in the Bank and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I thought he was least likely to come out winning.
Yeah, same. I thought.
But then they revamped his character.
Yeah,
to be a bit more serious. You're like, all right, we'll see how it goes. They actually could have built a good story of him eventually winning the title.
I don't know, because I think the longer you kind of do it with, because especially that whole what they sort of did with him, the longer you kind of do it, it wouldn't work because.
Oh no, it's just like I'm enjoying Seth's trollness.
Yeah, but Seth doesn't really need to have.
No, but he's entertaining, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's not like he's gonna disappear off of this. He's still gonna be around. But like, that's what I think. You have to sort of pull the trigger with Fury now, if not, damage done irreversible. So,
so
I was quite happy.
Going into the men's War Games match, there was so they showed the storyline of Kevin Owens talking to Sami Zayn, the honorary Sami Zayn, right?
Yeah, on SmackDown. Yeah,
and basically saying, "Oh, you got to turn on them before they turn on you." And Jey Uso's at the door, it's like the door's ajar. Basically, he's leaning against it, to listen in this conversation, right?
Yeah.
And then, as soon as Kevin Owens leaves, Jey steps through the door, right? And goes, "Yo, I heard who you talk to? Who you talk to, boy?" And Sam's like, I'm talking to no one. And then he's like, yeah, right. And then during the Survivor Series pay-per-view, Jay's like to Roman, you got to talk to our boy, your boy Sami Zayn, right? Because I think he's going to betray us. Kevin Owens to speak to him, and he denied to me that he was speaking to Kevin Owens, even though I saw him with my own two eyes. And Roman's like, all right, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it, man. Then later on, Sami Zayn comes in here. He's like, oh, yeah. Want to talk to me? And Roman Reigns like, yeah, sit down. So he'd been talking to Kevin Owens, right? He's been lying to my cousin there. And he goes, no, I didn't. Okay, first of all, Kevin Owens was talking to me. I didn't talk to him, right? That's number one, right?
Yeah.
Your boy Jey Uso, our boy Jey Uso was like, I don't want. He had a match later on for the Survivor Series. One man advantage going into the War Games. You didn't need to think about other things that weren't going on, in fact, and get distracted and lose. So I did to protect him. He's thinking all these things, having problems with me. I had a problem with him, but I need to add anything to his paranoia. You understand? I'm like, all right, I get you. And Roman was like, all right. Okay. And then he hugged Sami Zayn, and then he like, from his facial expression, like, is he buying it? Is he not? I don't know.
Yeah. We need to know.
Yeah. But this basically was a very good storyline based match because the ring work was good, but it's just like I wonder how certain things are going to play out rather than let's who's going to win.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that little bit, and it made me edgy. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Is he going to? Are they gonna murder him at some point? Because it's coming, but
yeah.
I just don't want it to.
Yeah, I don't. I think some of the brawling brutes, right, which is Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch,
Yeah,
aka Pete Dunne.
Peter Dune. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, now Pete Dunne's good, right?
Hmm.
But he's a lackey here. So is Ridge Holland. So you're like, not even like the Bloodline. Who I mean, the Usos are their lackeys, but they got credibility as well.
Yeah.
Not to knock about, but it's just like one of those things where you're like, but Pete Dunne did start off pretty well with his
Yeah.
joint manipulation stuff like that. So he got things going. Yeah, I liked it also when was it Jimmy was going to come out, right?
Yeah.
And then
Because this is
Roman's like,
when the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus,
yeah,
and Brawling Brutes, Drew and Kevin Owens had the advantage. Yeah,
yeah.
by having one man more at the point. Yeah.
Yeah, Roman somehow so no one else get a chair, right? In the penalty boxes wherever they are. Roman's sitting down. Is he sitting down or is he crouching in the corner? Because it looked like he was sitting down. I was like, but when did he get a chair? Especially for him.
Probably way before, because they can easily just slide it through the back. Cause
That's what I was thinking. Paul
yeah,
Heyman probably came out of a chair and gave it to him.
yeah,
And sort of slid it in. But it's funny because he's like the mastermind behind the man, right?
yeah,
Just sitting there watching. But yeah, Jimmy's about to step out, and Roman's like, Jimmy. He taps him on his arm, and he goes, no. And he tells Sami Zayn to go. I'm like, all right.
yeah,
So him and Sami Zayn and Jay were like, had to team up for a little bit. I was like, okay. But even though Jay was like beefing with Sami Zayn throughout the entire thing.
yeah. And Sammy's like, dude, I'm on your side. He's like, no.
Yeah, I'm trying to help you, man.
Yeah.
It was like later on as well when all the guys were in, and Sammy got accidentally super kicked by Jay, and then the crowd just turned on Jay right
Yeah.
away.
Even Jimmy's like, dude, what's your problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But that was good. It was all good storyline stuff. It's like I'm more concerned with what's happening with the bloodline, as like I said, rather than I was like, all right, I wonder who's gonna like the bloodline's gonna win. So I wonder who's gonna take the pin for the opposing side.
Yeah. To be fair, though, at moments, because I was so concerned with like them turning on Sammy during this, I was like, you know what? The bloodline might actually lose, and Sammy will take the pin.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
There was tension. The tension wasn't whether the face side was going to win, right?
Yeah.
It was whether the bloodline was going to win because they're going to win, or they're going to turn on Sami Zayn and leave him for dead, and that's why they're going to lose.
Yeah. Or he'll take the pin and then they'll kill him. Yeah.
Yeah, or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was one of those weird ones.
But yeah, it was good. I like the ending was pretty good because throughout the entire thing, Sami Zayn was trying to avoid fighting Kevin Owens as well.
Yeah.
Like, because they were friends, like they're really good buddies, and they're like, oh yeah, his best man at his wedding and stuff like that. So you're like, okay, yeah, and then so Roman, Kevin Owens hit a stun on Roman.
Yeah.
Went to get the pin 1, 2, 3, and Sammy just smothered the referee. Like usually you break up the pin. Yeah. Usually you break up the pin by jumping on the other guy, but he's like, no, I'm just I'm gonna grab I'm gonna basically hug roll the referee.
Yeah. He's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, and then it was like, okay, yeah, exactly. And then they had their face off, and he was like, all right, we're gonna fight, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I did like that KO did the pop-up powerbomb as well, his other secondary finisher.
He did have Roman as well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, and then he did a face off with Kevin Owens, and I think was it Jay that distracted Kevin Owens?
No, Jay went to give Kevin Owens a super kick.
Yeah.
Owens caught it.
Oh yeah, and he caught it.
Yeah,
that's it. And then Sami Zayn gave him a low blow.
Yeah.
Then he put Kevin Owens in the corner, gave him the Yakuza kick.
Yeah, haluva kick. Yep.
And then he looked at Jay and said, "Go on, yeah, I'm your bro. Go, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Even though he was kind of looking at their face like he didn't want to, but he knew he had to.
Yeah. He was like.
And then when and then Jay did the splash and got the pin, right? I was like, okay, good. Someone else other than Roman got the like. I mean, it made more sense story wise because if Roman got the pin and then be like, okay, it wouldn't lead to anything. But at some point, like you're saying, they're gonna turn on Sammy. So they kind of
Yeah.
need this to do that.
And now because like Jay's took him in, like is all on board with Sammy. So
Yeah,
when the murder attempt on Sammy actually happens, it's going to be a lot more like emotional.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's not
Do you
cool.
do you reckon? Storyline wise, do you reckon it looks like Sami Zayn and his tag team partner, probably Kevin Owens, right, will be the ones that take the tag team titles off the Usos?
Yeah, yeah.
WrestleMania.
If they were smart, they will draw this out longer than WrestleMania, because
Okay.
then, like, I don't know, because then I think it will be more impactful. Because if it's like WrestleMania, it's kind of like obvious, isn't it? It's gonna happen like 3 months or whatever. But if you
Yeah.
like sort of drag it out a bit, even if you took it to SummerSlam,
Well, SummerSlam next year.
yeah,
Okay.
it's only because you need to rebuild the relationship between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
That's true.
And
It's true.
like,
It's
if you
true.
do it too quick, like, oh, then what's the point? But
I guess that depends, by the way, if where Sammy and Jay meet up in the Royal Rumble.
yeah,
Because if one of them eliminates the other one, then you got the turns to start.
yeah. But then I don't know if, hmm,
But logically speaking, I think this is the only match that kind of led to storylines that you can not like this here. When you're watching SmackDown or Raw, or whatever afterwards, you're like, all right, this here leads to something, right? But none of these other matches seem to lead to anything.
no, some of them just,
Oh, okay, except for okay, I know that definitively AJ and Finn Balor's storyline hasn't finished yet, right?
yeah,
But that's more of a Judgment Day versus the OC sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's a story keep going. So yeah.
yeah.
Sure. But like, yeah, the other ones, like you're saying,
I mean, oh, no, the AJ Finn match was more like a stopgap in the middle of the bigger feud.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that story's still continuing. But yeah, like the other, like, I don't know where it goes from the women's side of things.
yeah. Especially when you got like 10 women in that match, and you're like, Rhea Ripley's probably going to join back into the fold back into the the OC versus
Yeah, of
Judgment
course.
Day thing.
Yeah,
So
it
yeah,
has to. Yeah,
and
but
then you've kind of ended Bailey's chase,
yeah,
and Dakota Kai and Io Sky, they're the women's tag team champions. They're not going to go for singles titles.
no.
Well, they could, but I don't think that's what they're going to put them together to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon?
Good
Who do you
point.
think is going to challenge Bianca Belair for that ladies title afterwards? That women's title?
It'd be too soon to run her and Becky again. Plus,
Mm.
Becky's good guy for now.
Do you reckon they're just going to
Probably.
have someone new pop up that's not in this, that's not already in the group, the 10 that are already there?
Yeah, have to be. Because you can't really do Rhea Ripley at the moment because she's involved in the other thing.
Mm. I know if you want to do Nikki Cross temporarily, but they've got some rebuilding to do with Nikki Cross before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Do you see anyone? Ronda Rousey,
Nah.
Shayna Baszler, but they're still very much a team at the moment
And
here.
they're on SmackDown, so I don't see that happening.
Oh no, I'm not saying they. No, I'm not saying they challenge Bianca Belair. I'm
Oh,
saying
right, yeah.
between the two, like Ronda Rousey's storyline, I think Shayna at some point, right?
Yeah.
But they're obviously as a group between the two of them.
I think they might carry on the Shotzi thing for a bit more until Raquel comes back because they writ her out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And which would take you up to like New Year's. So, same thing I'll think of, yeah. Or then I think they're gonna probably go round back to Liv Morgan for the SmackDown Women's title, and she might beat Ronda, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, personally, I think Ronda needs to be in more multi-man matches.
I don't know, because then I don't think that's gonna help her if she's just in multi-man matches.
Yeah, but you could get to the point where she can be able to do stuff eventually at a certain point. Is one. I'm just like, look, her match will be more entertaining if there's more people in it. I don't say like I'm not saying 5 ways or 6 ways or whatever all the time, but just like 3 people, the occasional one one-on-one where she's smashing 3 people, whatever. Just like give me something, right? Because she doesn't come across especially charismatic, strangely enough, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, the background backstage segments are better, but it's like she's not fully committed to what she's doing as a character. Because I'm not sure if she's like one of those where you can't not necessarily handle the hate, right? But you're playing a character, and she's more of herself.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, because she's Ronda Rousey, yeah.
Yeah, larger than life. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't want to be hit. Maybe like she doesn't actually legit want to be hated by people.
Yeah, I get that feeling from her.
Yeah, so it's like, even like when you play a dastardly character on screen, yeah, some people hate you for real, but you can say that's the character that I'm playing.
Yeah.
In the movie by its name, right? Because that's not my name.
Yeah,
whereas her name is
her name. Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where you're like, people might distinguish Ronda Rousey, the screen character, from Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Yeah, so it's kind of sucky for her. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like someone like Shayna Baszler embraces it, just like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna be like out of order to everyone.
Yeah.
And then we see her on Up Up Down Down. You're like, that girl's actually, that lady's really chill, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're right. The Ronda thing, yeah, I think you're right with that. But putting her in like multi-mans, I don't know if that's gonna help her at all either.
Okay.
And especially because I think, like you've kind of said, people just automatically just see her as boo, she's a heel. So even they try and make a face, it doesn't work because people are just booing her anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an odd one.
Well, look, I think it's partially because she's more of a face type, a heel type character. The way she portrays herself.
Yeah.
But I think because she doesn't get reactions, she doesn't deliver the face lines fully committed either, right?
Yeah.
But they seem more artificial, than they should.
Yeah.
Baddest woman on the planet, yeah. You expect her to be in there with some attitude, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, the attitude she comes across with is like, I'm bad, but I don't want to be too bad.
Yeah, please like me. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though you're supposed to hate me, so I don't know. Wreck-It Ralph style, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That is the best way of putting it. Yeah. It's okay to be bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think she, like you're saying, she's probably used to the sit down interview backstage stuff because she's doing it in UFC.
Yeah.
But I don't think they ever booed her for her being her.
No. Yeah. Sucks to be her.
Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. You think Shotzi's going to get another title shot?
Yeah. She will get another shot.
Okay. All right.
It'll be on a SmackDown or something, obviously.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like if it was some depending on the people, I think some matches will suit a blitz kind of Goldberg style run through, and some matches no, some matches yes. But if at the present rate that she's going through people, like as far as so Sashi Blackheart, right? Where is she in the rankings of the women's division?
Yeah. Somewhere.
yeah. Yeah. Well, look, you threw Dana Brooke in there as well. You could have a triple threat match where Ronda is basically beating up 2 women. So
yeah, it's just I don't know. I just want to know where they're going with this.
Yeah.
One day we'll see. Well, we will see obviously because it's ongoing.
All right. Yeah. And the bloodline. Where do you think they're going with the Lash? I mean, like, you reckon from the way I reckon as well, from the way they've been playing that trailer, is that Lashley's going to splinter off and fight Brock again at some point.
Yeah, but I think that won't happen for a while because I reckon Theory is gonna beat Lashley.
Yeah.
Because he needs a big win, doesn't he? So I reckon he's gonna.
Oh,
beat
you
Lashley.
reckon a quick like a roll up pin sort of fluke win, and then he's going to probably get put in the hurt lock afterwards and just be run down.
I don't even think it'd be I might think he'll win, but it might have interference in it.
Okay. Or do you reckon basically the referee will go down and Brock comes into their Suplex City?
Yeah, something like that.
Theory over Lashley.
Yeah, something like that because you can't. They're kind of trying to make Theory a threat or whatever. So I reckon he can beat Lashley with help and not get battered afterwards, because then that kind of takes away his momentum. I reckon something like that's gonna happen, and then Seth,
hopefully you mean something like that will happen, because sometimes you never know in this company. Not to knock it, I'm just saying sometimes some people win with fluky fashion, they just get destroyed afterwards, and you're like, yeah, it didn't help them at all.
Yeah, and
you made them look like a jabroni. They got the win, but that means meaningless.
Yeah, so I don't think they're gonna do that. I doubt they do that anymore. Since
we'll see under the Triple H rule how everything works out. Yeah. Oh, they did play Cody Rhodes' return video.
Yeah, he's coming back.
So do you reckon he's coming back in time for Rumble?
I don't know, because they've been playing that since he's been gone. They've played that like at every sort of pay-per-view. But I reckon.
Do you reckon? Sorry, I'll interrupt you.
No, that's all right.
But do you reckon they're going to be like, if they played a YouTube, It's a Beautiful Day, like when Triple H was injured and he came back out, and every single time it was like, oh yeah, the YouTube music kept on playing, and they made sure that Triple H's comeback was everyone knew.
I don't know.
Back in 2002, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I reckon he might be back for the Royal Rumble, and I do reckon he probably is gonna be the one.
It's the most logical decision, isn't it?
Yeah.
And predictability is not a bad way to go.
No.
Especially since he was coming back with massive momentum and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And realistically speaking, probably would have been the one to win the Money in the Bank, and then probably not cashed it in for a while.
Yeah. I reckon if he won Money in the Bank, he would have cashed it in at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But not on the day itself, but he would say, I want my match at WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
And then you probably would have The Rock win the Royal Rumble.
I don't.
Well, no, I'm just saying, because that looks like the match they were going to go for. So I'm glad The Rock's not going to win the Rumble, because that's kind of predictable. I'd rather have Cody.
Personally, I don't think that Rock needs to win the Royal Rumble to get a title shot.
Yeah. But then where would the logic lie? Who would win the Rumble to get the title shot if Cody Rhodes has the Money in the Bank and Rock is likely to get the WrestleMania match?
Yeah, good point. So in a way,
you're gonna have Cody Rhodes. You could have Cody Rhodes win the WrestleMania match, the Royal Rumble as well.
Yeah.
So then, if he loses, he's got the backup to use the Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
and it'd be like a 2 out of 3 falls match or something like that.
Or I've got the perfect thing.
What?
To make Cody Rhodes' story even more epic. All right, so he won the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then, for example, Seth challenged him for the briefcase. Seth wins it. Yeah. So then Cody's has to win the Royal Rumble so he can get his dream at fighting WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of adds to the story.
Okay.
Yeah, and Seth could cash in and lose. It does nothing to Seth, does it? Because Seth is Seth.
Well, logically, you'd probably have Cody win and then Seth cash in on him right away.
Yeah.
After beat up, and then I don't want to think necessarily he needs to beat Seth, right?
Yeah.
But he could just be smart and cause it start having a match, and then midway through he's like, I'll get a count out or disqualification or something like that. I mean, he could get hurt some outside the ring.
Yeah.
We'll see. Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble, I don't mind. That looks like the most perfectly logical way to go.
Yeah, same. If he's,
you reckon it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns night 1 and Rock versus Roman Reigns night 2?
I Oh, I don't know. You know.
Or do you reckon it'll be Rock versus Roman Reigns night 1, and then the Cody Rhodes versus Cody Rhodes night 2? It'd probably be the Rock to cap it up, right? But then it'd probably be Rock. I don't think would win the title. Cody Rhodes will win the title,
Yeah,
though,
so
so
it
it
have to be the
depends
way
on, I
around.
guess. Well, I don't want to say Cody Rhodes will win the title, but it looks like of the two, he's more likely to win the title.
Yeah, so it would have to be the other way around, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. Okay. We'll see about that. Looking forward to the Rumble then. In that case.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It should be great.
Yeah. The pop that Cody will get, right?
Yeah, especially from me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Greatest.
By the way, are they like? I know this was on the Saturday. Are they only holding stuff on the Saturdays if the arena's booked up already on the Sunday? Or are they transitioning to Saturdays?
I think with the major ones like Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, they're going to be on Saturdays.
Okay.
And I think like the other like pay-per-views just be on Sundays, even though they're cutting them down. But yeah, I think they're just going to be on Sunday. Those ones will be like the B tier ones are going to be on Sundays, and the A tier would be Saturdays, which I find better because I don't have to take a day off work to watch them if I have to. Yeah, it's the only problem with the ones before.
Yeah,
and I don't know. It felt like it easier to watch when it's on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess no one people there don't have to rush home afterwards, isn't it, for like the work the next day and all that stuff. So yeah, it'd be good to go forwards. AEW should do that because they do Saturday and Sunday. They alternate sometimes, don't they? Because some of them been on Saturday, some been on Sunday.
I think that might be just depending on whether the arena's also booked up for something else. Yeah.
Huh. But yeah, I'm looking.
But they do theirs like they only do like 4.
Yeah.
Over the year, so if something is booked, they kind of they can switch. They logically should switch. So.
Yeah. I think because WWE are going. They're gonna do 8 or 10. I can't remember 1 or 2 because they're getting rid of like a lot of them, ain't they?
Oh, I think they could do with cutting them down.
Yeah.
I think they're so used to doing it. They had 14 at one point. In a
year. Which made no sense. 14 in a 12-month year. Yeah, it makes no.
Yeah. Would you even logically yourself? Would you have what's it called? Would you have 12 like 1 a month?
No, because storyline wise, it doesn't work. It doesn't. It works, but it doesn't because you got to. I don't know. It just.
I'd probably be fine with having 8 a year.
Yeah, like
at that point, and like maybe you'll drop them down from that. But I think they've got their major ones, they've got their minor ones. 4 major ones. And some minor ones.
Yeah.
And I do I was hoping they bring King of the Ring back because they could do storylines with that as well. But
like, I didn't mind when, say, like the early 2000s when they had 1 a month, but it was when it was, they split the SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
I didn't mind when the pay-per-views alternated. So say 1 month it was a Raw pay-per-view, and the other one was SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown. Then like the big pay-per-views, they were a super show basically. I myself enjoyed that more.
Yeah.
Because like gave storylines a time to breathe and things, but
yeah,
whatever. I don't know. I'm old.
All right. Even though we've diverged completely from the actual pay-per-view.
But yeah, overall, I like the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, there were some ups and downs, and it wasn't too bad overall, though.
No.
Quite watchable. Yeah,
it didn't overstay its welcome either. So I was quite happy about that. Because it could have been like a 5-hour show, like some.
Well, you know what? As far as almost a 4-hour show, right?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like it was 4 hours.
No.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because when you look at the War Games matches, they're probably very long, right?
Yeah,
but they're actually even longer if you take into account everyone's got to come out with their entrance music.
Yeah, because think about it, right? The matches itself, right? Remember correctly, both of them were about like 38 minutes.
Yeah,
39.
40-ish,
Yeah, but then, like you said, you got to include entrances, which each person's entrance is for like a minute and a half, maybe more. Yeah, so that comes up to about like 50 minutes there, isn't it? When you think about it, yeah. Well, 40 odd, but yeah, it didn't feel like that at all. I enjoyed. Yeah, I enjoyed the references throughout the whole thing, which is a good thing. What I've noticed they've started to do with WWE things would actually
Yeah.
mention their own history, because the point where they kind of didn't.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? They still do that. I think they're kind of doing that thing where they don't recognize other American organizations, but they somehow were like, yeah, like we can mention Japan.
That I'm not actually. I don't really mind.
Yeah.
Like they mention Japan or like around the world, but they don't mention. But to be
New
fair,
Japan, they call it the IWGP, right?
yeah, I
Oh, fair
think it's
enough.
probably for like legal reasons. But like, I
Yeah.
prefer 'em not to mention other organizations, because like, why are you gonna mention your competitors?
So when AEW mentioned our multi-time world champion, like,
Oh, but they mentioned
uh,
multi-time world champions as well, so it
yeah.
makes sense. But
Well,
like, if
yeah,
AEW kept them like what TNA used to do, like, oh, in the WWF they did blah, 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 like stuff.
oh,
Like, why
yeah,
you?
yeah. Well, the thing is, I think WWE like to do the thing where if they're world champions elsewhere, they don't even recognize their world champion. Except for Japan, of course, because so when AJ Styles came out in 2016, they were like he's a IWGP champion like Brock Lesnar. They had a three-time world NWA champion like Ric Flair, and then they did not mention Impact whatsoever, TNA. And then afterwards, they edited at the entrance where they only mentioned the IWGP title. All right.
Yeah. But like, that was a weird thing to do, because the Good Brothers, they always mention that they won tag team titles all around the world and in
Yeah.
Japan. So all
Yeah,
around the
yeah,
world,
but
we know that means
that's
in
that's
America.
that's
But
yeah. I think they vague enough to be like, all right,
yeah,
but not the, which is strange because they let Mickey James come out with the Impact Women's title,
yeah,
even though they did not mention Impact Wrestling. So like, okay,
yeah. It was so weird.
and they even acknowledging that Carla Anderson is the
Yeah,
never.
yeah, they
All
mentioned
right,
it.
okay,
Yeah, because I think Corey Graves said, yeah, he's a champion in Japan. He's still currently a champion in Japan.
yeah, but does it come out with the title? Is what I mean.
Well,
They
I
don't mention it specifically what title.
don't think you.
Okay.
To be fair,
Yeah.
they'd mention it and say you're a person who only watches WWE. I mean, what the hell's
It's
this?
true.
So
It's true. It's true.
more
Oh, okay.
confusion.
Anyways,
Yeah, yeah. Anyways,
completely diverged for half this
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Switching
So.
back. Switching back. I'm the man who's Rhea Ripley's underling, and I love it. See why, Joe?
And I am the man who killed his quote unquote brother for my new family, Carl Charles. And thank you for listening to us review Survivor Series. Yeah, I said it right this time. 2022 War Games.
Yeah. And with us half talking about other stuff
Yeah.
as a massive epilogue.
Yeah, well, it happens. That's what conversations are about.
Yeah.
If you've watched it, hopefully you have, what was your favorite part of War Games or any of the matches? Did you like the references being made throughout the show? What was the high point of the card in your opinion? Do you think when Sami Zayn gets jumped out of the bloodline, is it going to be one of the most emotional things in a long time, which I reckon it will be? And you could tell us this by leaving a comment if you're watching this on YouTube, or you could drop us a tweet or a direct message on Instagram, or even an email. And to do that, you can find all our contact information in the description for this podcast. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're listening to this in the audio realm, pass this on to a friend. Let them know about us. And also, if you've got any suggestions on any future topics we can cover, just let us know and we will give it a try. But until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.